Hello and welcome to a new episode of Ghoulish with me, Max Booth, a host. Today on this fine program, I have my good friend, Wayne Comunale, talking about something that terrifies him more than anything else in this universe. Sharks, the mystical creatures of the sea. You've seen them in movies, you've seen them in TV shows, maybe you've even read about them in books. Hell, they might be right behind you, assuming you're listening to this podcast in the ocean. And I have to assume that's where everybody listens to my podcast, in the ocean, with big headphones. This episode was recorded on Saturday, March 21st. That's 21. The year 2020, we are at the moment in the middle of a plague, a pandemic, and no one's leaving the house. The only reason I'm leaving is to go to my job at a hotel, and I don't know when this will change, and neither does anyone else who is listening, unless they happen to be a scientist. But statistically, scientists do not listen to podcasts in the ocean because they are intelligent, so I don't think anyone of that, anyone with those credentials are listening to Ghoulish today, at least. Well, I do not know what I'm talking about, and I am going to stop this intro so we can get on with my conversation with Wayne Comunale about what? You know what? Sharks.
So you don't have to go back to work until
Sunday
at midnight.
At midnight, they changed my my schedule from 11 to 7 to midnight to 8 because now my GM is coming in to relieve me, and she can't get up at 6 to come relieve me. So now they've changed it.
What's the capacity at the hotel then?
Not good, man. Like 20%, 15%. They've let go a bunch of the staff. Now it's me doing night audit 3 nights a week beginning next week, and then someone else is doing night audit on my days off. And most of the front desk staff is gone, and now management is just doing it. We've limited breakfast from a buffet to grab-and-go plates, but that's probably going to go pretty soon, and we will most likely eliminate all breakfast and let go of the kitchen staff. It's not looking good.
I really hate to hear. I hate to hear that, but I also really hate to hear about breakfast going away, because that's my favorite. I do, like, on the road, I'll always be like, don't forget your free breakfast. If there's a free breakfast, go get it, even if you don't want it. Go get it. I'll fucking load a plate and take it to my room. I'll stack 3 coffees on each other and like be walking. I'm that guy, dude. I'm a fucking problem.
I don't mind that, but sometimes like that'll happen, and the lady in the kitchen, she'll come out and point at me and point at the guest. I'm like, what do you want me to do about this?
Yeah.
Like I grew up in a hotel as a teen, and we used to do that. We would go down, and it wasn't a big breakfast, but they had like bagels and donuts, and we would just load up, and that's what we would eat the whole day.
I mean, yeah, I just take it back to my room, because usually it's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to the convention later, so I'm eating breakfast and writing, getting ready.
I don't want to get a bunch of eggs and just stuff them in your pockets.
Dude, funny story. So my buddy Nick P, I've also told this story before, but we went to Ozfest 1999 in San Antonio. Your neck of the woods, baby. And we had it was a spur of the moment thing. It was me, him, and our friend, we call him the Monsignor, And we couldn't find a fucking hotel, of course, because everything is just booked for the whole freeway for everyone that's coming to the festival, to the Ozfest. So we finally find one like that's like all this way out of town, like probably 30 miles past. This was years ago. I don't know exactly where we were, but the next morning went on and he came back up and just started emptying out his pockets from the breakfast thing. And at one point, he was just taking out egg after like hard boiled eggs, like one after another. And it was so fucking hilarious. I have it like actually recorded on an old, like you know, DV cassette or whatever fucking bullshit video recorder we had at the time in 1999. I wish I could find it, but I had him like pulling all the eggs out of his fucking pocket, and it was so funny. But anyway,
Did you guys eat them or what?
fuck yeah, we did.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah,
Pocket
excellent.
eggs are the best. Don't say that.
Yeah, dude. Hey, I'm not paying those festival food prices, even in
No.
1999, my friend.
I'm not paying anything. I don't have any
I
money.
was so Yeah, I was like, well, I don't even know how old I was, like 20 or something. But I like, we were so fucking thirsty because it's outside and so hot in Texas, like August or whatever. And I get in line and I get no water. I get no, forget that. Why do I want that? I get two large Mountain Dews and just like chug them both, and that's my hydration for the day. When I was like 20, 19, 20.
See, a Mountain Dew used to be acceptable, but now if you catch anyone drinking it now, you gotta shoot them dead. They might be
You have
infected.
to slap it out of their mouth like that Batman meme.
I used to love Mountain Dew when I was a rowdy teen, but not that long
I
ago. Not that long ago, I tried one and I had to spit it out. It tastes like fucking acid. I don't know how anyone could ever enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't want to try it again. I just want to let that die and just be like, yeah, that's over. I'll remember it how I feel.
Did not live up to my my memories of it, man. Now that we've established eggs, why don't you tell me what you texted me not that long ago about what skills you the most?
Fucking sharks, man. Like I watch a lot of shit. I very much not scared of anything, even in life. But sharks fucking scare me because they're real, and we shouldn't be out in their ocean anyway. What are we doing out there? What are we on a cruise ship? Like, who do we think we are? They're scary. They're big. And it's just the fact that that's a real possibility, I think, just terrifies me. Like, that's a real thing, is a great white shark, you know?
Humans are not meant to be off of land. We have legs for a reason, man. We're not supposed to swim.
We crawled out of the primordial ooze all that time ago, millions and millions of years, not to go back out into it, I say. But, most people disagree.
Have you ever encountered one of these majestic beasts?
In the wild? No.
Any
No, my
place?
friend.
At home?
I mean, I've in aquariums. I've seen big sharks, but I mean, they don't have any great whites in captivity. But just big sharks. But like, I'm not afraid of. It's not like the Sharknado or all that. Anything goofy, that doesn't scare me at all. The real ones, like when it's like a real situation in a movie or a book or whatever, it really does. That just really fucking scares me when I think about it. Because here's what made me think about it. I was talking, and I think I was talking to Wes about this. I was writing this shark story for something, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get in the mood, I'm gonna watch some shark stuff. So I watched this movie Bait. It was okay, but then I watched the 47 meters down Uncaged, which it's a new movie. I know it's got little teeny bopper girls in it or whatever, but fuck you, it is scary as fuck. Those sharks are nuts. Have you seen it?
I have not. I don't even know about this movie.
Christ, talk about anxiety, dude. Like I said, I watch all kinds of horror shit. I read all kinds of horror shit. Like nothing really bothers me. I've talked about the things that have bothered me, like fucking Antichrist, that movie by Lars Van Trier or whatever, like that. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like that. But this movie had, you were talking about your clenched asshole earlier. listening to me yell at a hotel manager. This was like I was watching it like with a clenched asshole, a lot of it, but also because I really think the movie does a good job of it takes you without spoiling anything at all. Like every time you think that they're out, they are not out. Like to the credits, dude, to the fucking credits of the movie. You're like, yeah, but you don't get to breathe that sigh for very long because it's like, no.
So what's the premise of this movie? Are they just like stranded? What's going on?
So this is actually a sequel. So 47 Meters Down came out like several years ago, I guess. It had Mandy Moore in it, I remember, and somebody else. And it was like they were friends that were in a cage, like cage diving the sharks. And some shit happened. The boat got fucked or whatever, and they got dropped in the cage that they were in on the door, so they couldn't get out. And the sharks are swarming their tank or their cage, so they're stuck. So this one is just like. I guess what they're in some island area. I don't know if it was ever even specified, like off the coast of something island. And it's these two girls, and their father is archaeologist, I guess, of some kind, and they're uncovering these underground ruins of some ancient society, right? But they're underwater now, so they're diving, and then so the girls and their friends go out one day and like, let's go. They know a secret back passage into one of the tunnels, and they go in there like, we're gonna look at this thing, and we're gonna get right out. And of course, shit ensues when they get down there, and it turns out, there's these sharks that live. They've opened these tunnels, and now these sharks are coming through that have been blocked off all this time, that have lived in like this dark area, so they're like all blind and shit. But
Oh my
they're
God.
the huge great white sharks that are like blind, like and just fucking are terrifying. And then you think they're away from that, and then they get into like regular great white shark territory, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ. It was just terrifying to me.
It's like, stop going in the fucking ocean, man. This is what happens. You can't go in the ocean. Have you ever been in the ocean?
I have been in the ocean, and I regret it.
Don't do that.
I know I shouldn't, and I will never do it again. You're right. But like it's like moving, and I just imagine it being like when you try to move in a dream, you're trying to run fast or punch, and it's all like slow motion, or you can't move. I don't know. Sometimes that happens to me. If you're in the water and a great white shark is coming after you, that's how you're going to be able to move, like slow motion. I don't give a fuck if you're Michael Phelps out there fucking bong hitting it and doing a butterfly and shit. Great white shark is like, zoom, they cut through that water like nothing, dude. Like nothing. You're done.
Now, what are you supposed to do if you do get attacked? I think you're supposed to, punch him in the face? Is that what I've been told?
I mean, people that you're supposed to punch him in the nose because that's very sensitive. But okay, that's the first thing I'm thinking about when a shark bites my fucking torso. Oh, I'm gonna punch him in the nose. No, I'm too busy shitting my fucking pants and crying.
What if you bit the shark before the shark could bite you? Maybe it would show like a dominance thing, Maybe the shark is like, okay, I won't fuck with you. This guy, he means business. Maybe.
All right, what are you, like in a Gialli movie, or like you a zombie shark biter or something like? What's going on here?
I'll bite anything, man. If I have the teeth, I'll bite it.
Well, I mean, hey, you know what? It does say that on your driver's license, so I do know.
I do bite, yeah.
That you will bite anything. But I wouldn't bite the shark. Dude, I don't. If I ever found myself in a situation where a great white shark was coming at me in the water, I would probably just go limp and just let it happen. I don't know. Because what else do you do? I think running would, make it even worse. Running, I mean, swimming or trying to swim. Whew, I'd rather than just like, I would just be like, close my eyes and give and let, go and see you in hell.
Maybe you just have to psych it out a bit. Like, if you don't bite it,
Psych
maybe...
what out?
the beast trying to eat you. Maybe if you're like, oh yes, I love to be eaten, it will be like, oh, I don't like to eat food that likes it. You know, what if you got like super erect? That would freak it out, man. It would go away.
I don't know if reverse psychology works so much on sharks, and I'm not sure if now I've heard of a fear boner before, like, and those can be very rock hard. But I think that it's going to be challenging even for the most talented of woodsmen in that time to be able to become erect or make a shark erect, if you will.
Can you imagine how fucked up your life would become if all of a sudden the only thing that could get you erect is being attacked by a sea beast?
Yeah, no, that would be fucked up, especially what if you're afraid of it? So the only way I can get erect is to experience my worst fear, which is being attacked by a shark. Then what do I do? Fuck the shark?
Hell no, man. I mean, yeah. What's so difficult about that?
See, okay, so to play it out, so it'd have to be like one of those 47 meters cage down Mandy Moore situations where you drop me in a cage, maybe with a lady or a smaller shark that I could handle, and then the other sharks are biting at the cage, and that horns me up, and then I bang the small shark. What about that?
Yeah, like maybe you get like a bucket of popcorn with you too, and you cut the bottom out.
Okay, I mean everyone can appreciate that, but again, popcorn underwater during a shark attack is gonna be very, very hard. That's what she said. Like me, which I will be very hard.
So you don't want to fuck a shark. You don't want to fight one. What would you do with one?
Let it be, man.
Let it be. You can't let it be. This is America, man.
What do you want me to do with it? I'm terrified of it. I don't want to hurt sharks. I don't want to, I don't want to interact with them.
Okay.
I want them to go their separate ways. I want them to, I want there to be an understanding between the sharks and I that I mean them no harm, nor any ill will. Even if we were in a situation together where they had to attack my friends or family and eat them, know that I would hold and harbor no ill will against the sharks as long as we had some understanding that I am either unharmed or I'm the last to go in any given, shipwreck type situation, I think.
I have a movie recommendation for you. I think you should check it out. It's called Jaws. This is an old movie. You might you might like it. It's yeah. So if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Actually, I've seen all of the Jaws movies many times, probably like more than you should. But that did probably form that fear early. Also because I knew it was real. Like sharks are fucking real. Like you can sit there and your dad can tell you, "Hey, predator's not real, so stop fucking crying." But you can't say that that won't happen. I mean, because it fucking happens, man. And but I liked all the Jaws movies then, back as a kid. Even the awful part 3 where they go to SeaWorld and the shark's just awful.
Okay,
but
so but
that was scary too because I liked to go to SeaWorld.
I've only seen the original. I don't know anything about the sequel, so if you could tell me a bit about them, I'm interested.
I don't remember them. I know that either. Okay, so I can't remember what part 2 is. I'm pretty sure part 3 is the one. Somebody's yelling at their fucking podcast right now. You fucking idiots.
They just wrecked in traffic.
They go to. Okay, there's one. I'm pretty sure it's part 3 where Jaws gets into SeaWorld, right? Because it's off the ocean, the San Diego SeaWorld, right? And it's like gets in there through some fuck up of opening a wrong gate or some aqueduct that got left open, and it's wreaking havoc in SeaWorld. And it was terrifying because I watched it not too long ago, and it's just god awful. It is such dog shit. The shark, when they show it like coming at something, it's just the worst animation, weird shit you could think. Like they spent no money on it. No money. It was awful. But back then, as a kid, I was like, I had been to SeaWorld before. My parents had taken me to SeaWorld. This is pre-Blackfish, guys. So, don't fucking drag me for going to SeaWorld. I was like fucking 5 years old. But um, I had been there. So again, I think that also tied a realism to that fear, where I was like, fuck, I've been to a SeaWorld.
Could
Sharks are
happen to
fucking real.
me.
What if it fucking does happen? What the fuck is happening? Of course, I was in Pennsylvania, and they weren't, it was a landlocked SeaWorld that I had been to. So there was no chance of Jaws swimming through an open fucking sea gate or whatever they did. But I didn't know that. I was just fucking scared.
Maybe it's came in through the main gate with like a mustache and a trench coat on, and no
Oh,
one
like
even
like
realized.
like land shark, like a
Yeah.
candy gram.
Yeah. At the one we have in San Antonio, not too long ago, someone they kidnapped a little baby shark. They put it in a baby cage and just walked out with it.
What?
Yeah, it happened in San Antonio. He was
Wait,
arrested.
what? They put it in a baby carriage?
Yeah, and they like
A
just
shark that goes into the water?
yeah, a baby one. And they
Did it
just walk.
die?
No, they took it back home and they had all this equipment and they were just keeping it as a pet.
Wait, they got away with it?
They will caught eventually, but yeah,
But how
they
did
got out.
they put it in a baby carriage and walked out with it?
Yes.
I'm imagining at that place where they let you pet the little sharks and shit, that one
I
area.
I guess yeah, it was like a big tub. They just reached in and grabbed it.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous.
So you wouldn't want to do that? You wouldn't
No.
want to do an animal heist?
No. I'll tell you this also. So there's this other time I was at the beach, and I'm a very much of a I don't like to be outside guy. I don't like to camp. I'm not hiking. I'm not going to your fucking parachute jump, zip line, whatever the fuck you're doing. I'm not doing it. Um, but I have been known to go to the beach. But like now I have very strict, like I'll go to the beach. I was talking to Wes about this, but I'm not camping. I'm bringing my own car so I can leave when I want. I'm basically gonna like drink a bunch of beer and leave. Like that's fine, and I'll just stand on the beach and talk to you guys. But my ex-wife loved the beach. She was from Corpus Christi, and she was like a beach lady or whatever. So we would go to like Surfside here, which here in Texas, if you're not like, it's one of the beaches off the Gulf that it's open to drive on. It's like unique in that way. You can park on the beach in Surfside. So that's how you don't park in a lot, like walk out there with your ticket and claim your spot. You claim your spot with your car. So yeah, so that was, and I liked that because you could just drive on the beach, like you back into your spot, open up the back of your car, or whatever. We had like an SUV at the time, and you bring your dogs, and you just be right there, and just sit in a chair, and I would just drink beer and listen to music and hang out. But we were there one time, and we were in my wife at the time's vehicle, and she locked her keys in her car, and she had that Skynet or OnStar or whatever, where you can call, they'll unlock your car from the sky, but all of our stuff was locked in her car. So we walked down the beach a little bit to where the next kind of people were, because it was an early kind of like day. It wasn't very busy at all, and just so we could borrow their cell phone to call one of my buddies who was at work, so he could get on his computer and like do the thing to unlock our thing for us. So we walked down, and hey, can we borrow your cell phone? Like, yeah. And it was kind of one of those things where, I was focused on like, we got to get the car open, right? Here's some guys, let's ask them. And then as it took a while for things to kind of like dawn on me, as I looked around, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is going on here? So they had like one of their pickup trucks, the thing was down, and there's this shark, probably like a
What?
5 foot like shark in the back of their pickup, with the head cut off. And I was like, huh? And then I look, and they have like the head on like some kind of pike or spear or something, right? Like in the water where they are, like right where and they were shark fishing is what they were doing,
Oh my
and they
God.
were like I was like, what is happening here? And they were telling me like this method where they were going out in like a canoe, right? And they were going past like I think the third sandbar, and they were getting like some bull sharks out there, and they'd hook them out there, I think, with the in the canoe, and then from the truck they'd like reel it in with some kind of like and pull it in. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? And one of the guys, dude, check this out. He had no foot. He had a fake foot. You know how he lost his foot? From a fucking shark, dude. And you know what?
What the
But you know
fuck?
what was pretty but you know what's pretty metal about it though? He had a fake foot, right? And it had like a like a like a tattoo. It was like his foot was tattooed, like the fake foot. It had like a boat and shit, like in the water, like in a traditional style tattooing, like old school tattooing thing, like on this fake foot, which was pretty cool. But they let us use a phone. We got in our car, but I was like, you guys. So I was like, you guys caught that shark today? Oh yeah, and we got we got some more. We got some more. They're definitely out there. And I'm like, I'm right down. I was like, I'm right down the beach. Like I stood in the surf, and the sharks were out there. You're at it. We got to get out of here right now. And that's probably why we got divorced. I think maybe that might have been the crux of it.
That day?
I mean, that might have been this planet to see, dude. Like right there, I might have been like, "Fuck these sharks, dude." But like I said, it wasn't. If I had maybe been like walking down the beach, like, "Hey, look at me, I'm Joe, white guy walking down the beach," and I would have been able to kind of like take it all in. I could probably have put it together before I got up on it, but like the whole thing of focusing and being like, "We got to get the fucking car open," like. She gets the cell phone. She's making the call. I'm kind of standing there, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And like, "Oh, thanks for helping us." And then everything calms down, and you're just kind of like taking everything.
It's like a scene out of a scary movie, man. You stop at the gas station, someone uses a phone, someone else walks around the gas station, and they find, what do they find? A fucking decapitated sea monster, man.
You're right,
Happens
dude.
every time.
I've seen it, an exhausted trope, some would say.
But it happened in real life. I mean, you wouldn't make something like this up. You would never lie. Is that right?
No, I would never lie, especially not to you. But no, that's exactly a story. It's a
Wow.
100% fucking true story. And I was like, why you guys
That's
cut the head on the fucking thing? It was just like well, that's what we're gonna do because we're gonna mount it anyway. And this just looks like, I think they just thought it looked metal or something. I was like, all right,
I mean,
cool.
I feel like if you lose your foot to one of these things, you go, okay, you guys win. I'm done. But he just kept on doing it.
No, he kept on. That's also what I was like. I'm like, okay, that's when you kind of concede, you know? Okay, hey, you got the best of me, but I'm still here to tell the tale, and the tale is you guys won. Not him, dude. He was like, I'm coming. I'm getting more back. I'm coming back. I'm coming harder. I got a fake foot. I'm gonna stick that up your shark ass.
Did he tell you anything else about how he lost a foot? Like, did they catch that shark, or is it still out in the sea? Does he have, like, this vendetta against this one fucking shark that took his foot? Is he after it still?
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. I do remember asking something like that at the time because I did want to know. I have no recollection of what he says. I want to say that it probably got away because if he would have told me that they caught it, I feel like that would have made more of a sticking impression in my mind to remember. But I forget a lot. I forget a lot of important things, so it might happen. But I want to say no, and I like to think and believe that shark is still out there to this day, and part of that foot is still in there with a car battery and a hubcap and a small child.
Many small children, probably. I mean, it makes
Many
easy
small.
food. I just watched Jaws, the original, not that long ago, and that movie is fucking perfect from beginning to the end.
Yes.
It's really great, and it's kind of I guess it's funny if you think about it, like the whole, no, we can't close the beach, we must leave it open to make money, and then you see the beach that's fucking swarming with idiot people from all around the state, and then you look at what's going on right now
Now,
with
yeah.
spring break. It's the same fucking
Oh,
thing, man.
God.
Amity needs
It
to be
re-
shut down.
It really is, man. It's like, yeah, it's kind of weird how like spring break is like legitimately happening. Like this is going to come out a couple weeks after we've recorded it, but spring break has been legitimately happening on beaches across Florida and here in South Padre Island and all over in Corpus, where my ex-wife is from. I've been many times. Uh, Probably another reason why we got divorced. But but anyway, but yeah, the people are out just out there partying, and maybe we should mow them down with machine gun fire. I don't know. What do we do in this situation?
It's the same fucking mindset. Oh, I can't see the shark, so it must not be real. Yeah, people died, but I didn't know those people. It's okay. It's the same thing, man.
You know, in that movie Bait that I was talking about, that I saw before, so it's like it's a New Zealand flick, I believe. And what happens is a monsoon comes in like out of nowhere. That's the one where the water comes in, right?
I think so.
And takes like just rushes in. Okay, that's what happens. Out of nowhere, like they have a monsoon, and these people are stuck in a grocery store that has like a parking garage, and these great white sharks are in that now because the water's all the way inland so far, you know, and it's brought in all the sea life, and so they're stuck on top of the shelves, and these great white sharks are there. Why was I talking about this? You got me so high, man. You got me all high. And,
I don't know.
We got to take it back. Wait, it has something to do with the water coming in. Oh, we should pray for a monsoon from like Cthulhu or some shit to wake up and make a monsoon happen, and then we pull all those people off the beach in, and then that's like a 2-for-1 because you clean shit with the water and you pull all the idiots out that might be infected, so it goes out there.
Okay, so how do we do this? How do we do the spell? What do we do? Are we gonna pray right now? I have the black candles already lit, so what do we do?
All of that is so dense and weird to unravel. I'm not sure how we would do it. I wish we could just like throw some smart bomb. Can't we just like do a warp zone whistle that wakes up Cthulhu for a minute? Like, do we have to go through all these other fucking channels like to get to him? I mean, what's the thing here, huh?
What if we just nuked the ocean? Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be fucking crazy.
Wouldn't it be nuts?
But
wouldn't it be nuts if the president suggested nuking the ocean? Oh my god! Thank God we don't live in that type of reality.
Did he do that?
Yeah, man. He was like, we should nuke a hurricane.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to news. I'm not like that's crazy, I would say. You know what also is crazy? I think about sometimes, speaking of nuking the ocean and like Godzilla, Godzilla comes out of the ocean in like the movies and shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I'm driving on these long drives, I wonder what it would be like if Godzilla just like stepped onto the road in front of me or like just came out of the fucking road. What do you think about stuff like that?
I think about it all the time. Sometimes I think...
Do you really?
Yeah, what if there's like an invisible wall ahead of me on the highway, and all of a sudden I see all the vehicles just fucking smashing into it? What would you do? I don't know.
Oh shit, that happened in something I was watching recently. Fuck, what was it? It doesn't fucking matter.
It's okay.
Oh, I was watching this movie called Guardians.
Okay.
It was on Shout Factory.
Yeah.
Like on their streaming service, and it's like it's a Russian film, and it's basically like their version of the Avengers, but they've lumped like almost probably every superhero trope from the last 15 years into this one movie, and it's pretty awful, but it's pretty badass too at the same time.
Okay.
Like it's a dubbed version, so there's not like unfortunately there's not one with like subtitles where you can watch it, but the dubbed version is probably better. It's pretty rad. I thought. I was like, Jesus Christ, this guy turns into a bear. It looks awful. This came out in 2017. I'm like, this is the best you could do.
It's
Like,
Russia, man.
it looks, and then his special weapon that he gets is just like a giant machine gun that the fucking bullets strap onto his back, so he can shoot a bunch of bullets. But that's his like special. That's his special costume they give him.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the powers. Like the one guy, his
Yeah.
power is kinetic. He has the kinetic control over rocks.
All right.
One guy is super fast, like a flash type fastness. But he's really good with swords.
Like a
Okay.
ninja. Gotcha.
Ninja kind of guy.
Yeah.
Okay, another one is a lady that she can either be invisible or turn into water.
Okay.
And the other guy turns into a bear. Bear man.
That's pretty fucking cool, man.
It's kind of cool, but you watch it and it's kind of stupid. Like the villain looks a lot like Bane from like the Batman, but from Bane from like Batman Forever or something, like those days, like Batman and Robin, whichever one he was in.
Yeah.
There's a scene where he breaks the back of like one of the guys, like just like a shot for shot, like Bane, like break.
Yeah.
It's fucking so stupid, but it's pretty cool.
If you could turn into a shark, would you?
No. No.
Tell me about some of the books you have coming out, man.
Well, out right now, I have my latest is The Cycle on Grindhouse Press. It's been out since January. It's very fun.
What's that about?
It's a book about a young lady named Beth who is moving out for the first time on her own into a house she's inherited from her aunt, and then she gets there and gets settled in and comes to find out that she's a part of something much bigger than herself that's happening, and she has to be there for it to happen, and she can't leave even if she wants to.
So no ocean plays in this book.
No ocean. It's a witch story.
Hey
It's
man,
a witch
witches can swim too.
No, they can't, because if
That's
you throw them in and because if they float, they're a witch, and then you got to kill them. And if they sink, they're not a witch, and fuck.
It's the only way to find out, man.
Yeah,
It's the only
exactly.
way. Okay.
That's my newest thing out. I got some other things coming out. Maybe a special release that'll be out in April, or announced in April.
Okay.
So we all die.
Yeah, most likely we will all be dead before any of that happens, and that's okay.
But you can just go to johnwayneisdead.com to find all my shit, or follow me at johnwayneisdead on all social media.
Sweet. And you also have a podcast.
I do. I'll have a podcast. It's called John Wayne Lied to You. It's called John Wayne Lied to You. It comes out every Monday. It's the stories from my life, all these crazy adventures that I have. I also do a 3-card tarot reading on myself at the beginning. I talk about that. So if you're into that, kind of shit, that's what I do. And then I have a Patreon that is at patreon.com/JohnWayneIsDead, which I have a podcast on there, which is the Awesome Dude for Life Boner Bonus Podcast, which you, Max Booth, were just on before we did this. So this will be out in a few weeks, and you get that plus a bunch of cool shit when you sign up. Plus you help Uncle Johnny out here, man. I'm just trying to make an honest living, trying to stay away from sharks, and do my thing.
All right. Hell yeah. Well, hey, thanks for doing this. This was fun.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. Wow. That's pretty rude. But okay, see ya. If you enjoyed today's episode, hey, why don't you go and leave a review on iTunes and also a rating? I guess you kind of have to do both. I don't know how iTunes operates exactly. We also have a Patreon, patreon.com/PMM Publishing. All types of cool things you can do on that Patreon. You can buy a book from us At Patreon, nope. At perpetualpublishing.com. Perpetualpublishing.com. Buy a book about pizza. Buy a book about spirals. Buy a book about hotels. Buy a book about any goddamn thing you want to read. We got them all. And what else do I say at the outro? Live spooky, die spooky, wash your hands, do not go outside unless you have to, and don't die. Ha 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 ha.